Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers
I
channel.
hope everyone are doing good, and in today's video we are going to discuss about update work item, which is from queue connector method. And in the last video I have explained about this pick work item and various properties to configure it. In case you haven't watched that video, make sure you watch it, as this will be required when you are updating your work item. So let's get started with this. And before that, if you're new to this channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Okay, so I have added my connector, which will be the first step, and configured my queue name in the properties panel. And also I have assigned my bot process to use RPA properties, which is queue in this case. So my bot process is also assigned here. Okay, so when I just drag and drop my update work item, this is how it looks, where it has three input fields like work item ID, request content, exception type, and also it has few other parameters like the release mode, priority, and your status. And in order to use this method, it requires few input parameter. One of them is work item ID, which you have to get it from this pick work item ID. So now we are going to give this work ID as an input to the update work item. So I'll connect this. So I'm just using the same properties and the parameters which I have used in the last video, which is on pick work item. And second input parameter is your request content, but without providing any other parameter, let's just run only this. And also I'm going to reassign my work item, as I don't have anything in the pending. So I'll take the last two and just provide random remarks and we'll just assign it. Okay, and now we have two pending items, and when you use this pick work item, the status will be changed from pending to in progress. So let's see that now. I'll keep a breakpoint and I'll show this. So I'll run from here. It's completed. Now it should be moved to in progress. So let's check the item. So you can see that the first item is moved to in progress now. And now I'm going to update my work item. So I'll just click on move next. Refresh the list. You can see that the status of the work item is still in progress, but it does not throw us any error, and also we haven't updated any response content or anything here. The reason is that we are not providing any exception type or not configured any other properties. And also this request content and exception type is not the mandatory field, but this is the mandatory one to update your work item, based on which it identifies each item separately. Okay, and now I'm just going to provide my request content, for which we'll use the request content from the previous activity, and also you have to provide your exception type. So in general you can provide two exception types. So I'll just double click and you can go to the static. Here if you will, you have two application and business exceptions. When you go with application exception, you have this concept of auto retry. So whenever any particular work item got failed due to an application exception, that will have an option to auto retry. You basically have to set it over here. So if you go to the details, here you have something called maximum atom. So defining the maximum atom will be taken in consideration for application exception work items. So now I'm going with the application exception. I'll pick this. Also I want to change my status to be failure, as it is going to be my failed exception. So let me mark it as failure. And also you have an option to mark it as in progress and success as well. When you use success, make sure you don't have any exception type, otherwise it will not taken into consideration. Like only for failure you can go with application or business exceptions. So this is done, and let me stop the bot and we'll run this again. Okay, and now we have this one in pending, right? So I'll refresh the page. It should be failure now. So yeah, so and now it is marked as failure. And also you can see the exception type, which is application. And this is how the updating of the status work. And now let me show you the business exception, marking as business exception. And now I'll try to change the value to success. Let's see what happened now, for which I have to mark some item as pending. We'll run this again. So it is marked as success, and you can leave the exception type which is not marked. As I mentioned, if we are going with success, the application exception type is not considered. So similarly, we'll just try with failure for the business exception. So now we'll go here and the last item should be marked as business exception. So yeah, this is failure and it should have business exception type. Okay. So if you have already worked on queue, you might have known that we have something called request content and response content. So let me quickly add that column. So request content is something when you create your item, you provide that, which is nothing but your JSON property. And the response content is something which bot update as a response to the each work item. So here you can have the status or your exception type or any additional custom message for this each item after it get processed. And now let me show you how you can configure the response content. And also you have this property called priority. So in case you have different categories of priorities, so you can just filter with that as well. So we nearly have 4, like critical, high, moderate and low. So all I just have is this high priority. So you can just filter that. And also you have something, this release mode, kinds of release mode, which is release and log. Let me show you the documentation. So the documentation, you can leave the exception type, so application and business. So if the exception type, which is application, then the work item is auto retry. So it works based on the exception type we give. And also let's see the release mode. So whether the work item is released or still locked for the robot after execution. I'm not exactly sure how they are using this release mode, as I don't find any differences between those two modes. But maybe in the future release, if they have any additional properties or anything, I'll be creating a separate video as well. But this is something just to release your work item for the robot to execute it. Okay. So now going into the update work item configuration window, just click on it. So here you have these input fields like stage, defer till and everything. I'll just quickly enable all of them. For every queue item you have many different columns. So if in case you have something stage which is different for your item, that you can make use of it to filter it. Basically, like you can filter your item based on certain conditions. And as this is an object, in order to provide any input field, you have to transform it. So if in case you have any stage, just provide them in the double quotes. Okay. And you have something called defer till, which I'll show after I complete the other things. And then you have name. So if you want to filter your name, filter your work item based on this name. So let me take this and go to the name, transform your data and provide it in the double quotes. And also similarly you can do this for type, remarks and SLAs. In case you want to give any SLAs, you can also provide them over here. And the next field, which is response content, which is basically to add your custom error message or anything. So in this case, I'm just going to have some random message. So we'll go here, refresh the page. It is in progress. Okay, still in progress. Okay, we have some error. Let's look at it. Queue item name duplicate. Queue item name is duplicate. I think I have this filter which is work item name unique. Like it's like if you want to keep your name as unique or you allow duplicates. So I just enabled it to make it unique. So that was the reason that it is giving me error when I'm trying to reuse the same item with the external filter called name. So let me quickly save. And we'll just test it again. So I hope this time it should work. Let's try. Okay, this is marked as failure now and it should have the business exception. And here you can read the response content. This is correct. And also you can add the exact exception message in real time like you can use a try catch, and based on that you can make a decision whether it is an application or business exception, and then you can add your custom exception message over here, which will be really useful when you want to track your process or track your each items individually. Let me also show you one more interesting property, which is the JSON property. And this JSON property I have explained it while I was doing this video on pick work item. This is same, but here you get a chance to add your new JSON property here in this update work item in the request content. In the request content, with the help of pick, you can get each item properly. For example, let me show you the one which we built already, so it would be more clear. So here you have this JSON property where I'm getting the level which was basically already existing in the bot. So here in the request content you have this level ID which I'm trying to get when I'm picking the item. But here you have a chance to add an external JSON property. For example, when you are updating the item that you want to add the exception type or the time the bot processed or whatever information you want to add, you can just add it over here. So for example, let me say that I want to add the exception, and let me also something called test. I'll click on OK, and here it will be an input parameter, so you just have to add it. Okay, let me quickly give some exception message. It's not that you have to give the exception message, maybe you have some ID or you have other properties to be configured when you want to update your item, which you can do it over here. Okay, and we'll just click on OK. Similarly, we'll transform it for test, so which will be just like I'm just going with some integer value. So we have one item now, so I'll just quickly copy the request content, and this is the current request content, so we'll run and compare it. I'll go here. Okay, we have an error. Let me check. Content is not a valid. I think the input string is not a valid JSON. Let me check the request content. Okay, so instead of mapping the request content, I'm mapping the response content. So let me clear the logs, reassign the item, and we'll check it out. It should be successful now, but let's see. Okay, it is successful. See the item. Failure. Yeah, this is expected. So it should be failure, business exception, and also we should have the exception message and test in the resulting JSON. So let's check the JSON now, which is the request content. Okay, so as you see here, it has added the test and the exception message, which is bot. I actually edited the exception message, so it is now just bot. Okay, and property which is name exists will be used to check if there are any other queue item which has the same name or not. So let me, it is true, but you can also change the properties over here. You can enable this, so in that way you will always have a unique names over here. And the next property, which is this defer till, which is like a postponed, or like you can give some time delay until which the item won't be picked. So it's basically that you can postpone the item by giving some external delays or some timing. So if you go to the documentation, they specify a time duration during which the same item will not be picked. So like basically you have to give the duration. Let me transform just have to provide your minutes in double quotes. It is 1 now. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to reassign an item. So let me reassign these two. I'm going to run this now, and one item will be marked as failure now. Let me do the same again, as we have one more item to test. So let's see it now. This is completed now, so let me refresh it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to select the item and reassign it again. So now let's check the properties. Okay. It says that work item ID cannot be empty. as because that we do not have any other items to be picked, even though we have one item which is in pending, because that this particular pick work item doesn't have anything to pick with status pending, as we have given the time duration to wait 1 minute, so that the bot will not pick the same work item until 1 minute. So if I go to the request content, it will not get anything, and also this work ID will be empty, so it doesn't have anything. So we'll try after 1 minute with the same item. So still it is in pending. Let's check now. It is completed as it has passed the 1 minute. And if you go back to the queue and check, it would have completed. So it marked the status as failure. Okay. I think I have explained almost all the properties on this configuration window. And in case you people have any doubts or any specific use cases you want me to create, please let me know in the comment section. So much for watching this video till the end. By the way, if you guys find this video useful, make sure you like and subscribe for sure. Thank you.